Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Pretty exciting day yesterday. As you can see behind me here, we managed to get the bus down here into the cabin area where this is going to be its new, somewhat permanent home here. And things went off really well. Didn't really have any issues getting it up in here. It was just little nail biting, you know. We got the larger hill back here, that I had to climb up. Got up there really without a problem, and then just kind of backing it up this hill here, and then driving it straight in worked out well, and yeah, went off without a hitch. So I'm already starting to clear things out. I'm going to get you up in there in just a minute, but I've got our old. I don't know if I ever showed kind of the inside of the bus once it was done. I know there's pictures out there on Facebook of it and everything, but with you guys here generally with this cabin project or the Lazy T as a whole, this was never really talked about in detail. So one of the things here, our shower in the bus, we used a watering trough, like out of Tractor Supply or something, and that worked out very well for our purposes there. And then our little mobile clothes washer here, that worked out great. We've had that since we were in Acadia, which was 2016. So that little thing this little washer is about 10 years old or so, and it has paid for itself 50 times over. It's been great. So let's get you up in here and we'll kind of go with what I'm thinking about here. I'll let you guys in on kind of what I'm thinking as far as getting this thing up and going. First off, we're probably going to be pulling out the driver's seat. That's just going to give us a little more room, and that'll be kind of game time decision. We'll see about that. Into the main part of the bus here, we got our little Lazy Boy love seat, and then generally our kitchen table here. This is a fold out, so this comes up, and then we have some stools that we eat on either side. Kitchen. This is generally our coffee station here. And then we got a full-size residential fridge here as well. It works out well. So what we're really going to be working on, everything you just saw is going to be staying the same, really, except maybe like I said, the driver's seat. But we're not going to be making any modifications to the kitchen area for multiple reasons. But let's get you in the back here towards the sleeping and shower area, and we'll talk about that for a second. So as we come through here, this wall, we're looking to open this up a little bit more because we have to work towards cooling off the bus a little better. So I've got a mini split air conditioner there in the back, and it's also a heater as well. But because of this wall, it really blocks cooling and heating to the front of the bus. So we're looking to reduce this wall down, possibly as far down as the refrigerator here. So we'll see. That's one thing we're working on. Coming into the back here, this is where our shower was. Okay. This sink and the cabinets and stuff, certainly overkill for what we're doing here. So this is all coming out. This little storage box here is coming out. And the bed. So obviously when we built this, Rebecca and I, it was purpose built for us, for certain situations, and this worked out great for us. Underneath, I mean, there's probably 4 feet there underneath that bed. So that was all storage, and underneath the bed are rods for clothes. So we would hang all of our clothes because there are no closets in this thing. So that's where our clothes and then some storage towards the rear of the bus. That's kind of where all that went. So if this was closed, we would step on this and then hop up into bed up there. And that is a king size mattress there. And that whole thing now is going to be lowered So we're going to make, like I said, we're going to make this a little more user-friendly for folks that aren't acrobats like Rebecca and I, climbing up into bed. So first things first, I need to get these out, and this is our water heater. So that runs off propane. So the thing you fight with in an RV is power and plumbing. Because generally when you hook up at a campground or wherever you're camping, if they have electric outlets, if it's a full service RV spot, you're only really allotted 50 amps. You could certainly tap into that 30 as well, but generally we wanted this to be most versatile really wherever we ended up. So much like the mini split in the back, that's it's a 110. Generally air conditioners and heaters like that, they are 220. So, and that's part of the problem with this air conditioner. It doesn't really have a lot of oomph. It works well, like I said, it works well for me and Rebecca, but we don't want people showing up here, saying they had to sit down with a fan or something like that because it just didn't cool. So we're gonna figure it out. And so one of the other things, like a water heater. So generally RVs, they have a tank, maybe a 5-gallon tank or something like that. It's usually fairly efficient. This water heater here runs off propane. So we have, and that's really the only thing in the bus that runs off propane. So I have two 25-pound propane tanks mounted up underneath the bus. And this is it's a tankless water heater that runs off of propane. So I have unlimited hot water, and I have no complaints about it. It has worked fantastic. So, but the mounting of it, of course, there are lines and things. I've got to get propane to it, and I've got to get the hot water out to, where it's needed. So there's some plumbing issues involved in all of this, as well as, some electrical issues. So this is all going to be figured out in all in the hopes and the dreams of removing some of this wall here so that the rest of the bus can stay pretty cool. So first things first, I need to do a little demolition. I need to get the sink out of here and all those cabinets, as well as the the little storage box that's down here below me. We'll probably do something with the mattress while I'm in here working, and well, we just got to get to it. So that's kind of the idea of what we're going to be working on. I basically have about a month and a half maybe to work on this little project. The primary effort is to get this up and going for October for the leaf peepers that come in here, because that's kind of our Super Bowl every year for this area. A lot of people come to this area, weekend getaways, midweek stuff, just to drive around with all of the leaves and things like that. It is really, really pretty out here. So yeah, so that's one, it's a little tour of the bus, and two, it's kind of a look forward into what things are going to look like. So ideally there in the back, where I was showing you what's got to be kind of laid out, we want to get a shower in there, as well as basically a residential toilet as well. So like with everything, the plumbing's got to be figured out, the electrical's got to be figured out. So we're going to work on it. So let me get to work. All right, guys, took a little bit of time to kind of get that, undo that box. I built that pretty stout there, but it came up just with a bunch of screws coming out, probably about 30 screws. Sink area all cleaned up. So you can see kind of my plumbing work here. Everything, stuff when you get out of the main cabin and down underneath the bus, it becomes a zoo down there with, you know, trying to organize everything to where it's not going to get destroyed when you're driving down the road. So what I'm going to work on now, since I've got a lot of room in here, I'm going to start tearing up the floor. So all of this brown plank flooring is going to come up. I'm also going to have to tear up this tile, so that's going to be a little bit of a mess. But I'll get this down to, there's some subfloor under there. I want to get that down to that, and then you know, we'll kind of go from there. I still need to pull the tile off of this wall, which means I'm going to have to pull off my water heater because I have to expose the plumbing for the shower that's here. And some of you steely-eyed viewers may have noticed this hole in the floor here. Well, that hole in the floor, believe it or not, that goes down to a storage area that's down below the bus. You know, access from the outside, but that's where we kept our litter boxes for the cats. So if the cats had to use the litter box, they would hop down that hole and do their business down there. That kept us from having a litter box here inside the cabin or inside the bus, you know, while we were traveling and stuff. So we thought that was a pretty good idea, and it worked out well, especially cleaning and everything like that. It's all outside the bus, so that worked out well. So let me get to work pulling up all this floor, and we'll check back in with you in a little bit. All right, gang, we're coming to the end of the first day here at demolition, I guess is what it's now being thought of here, at least those of us that are here doing it. So got just about everything I wanted to get done. The only thing that's still kind of unaffected right now has been the bed, the platform, but that's relatively easy. So let me spin you around here and we'll talk about what got done today. Let's just go kind of bottom to top here. So I had an extra layer of 3/4 ply down here as a subfloor because I needed to raise it up a little bit to get a little more height around the wheel wells that are back here. So I stripped that out. So I'm down onto the subfloor. Right below this is insulation and like floor joists, that type of thing. And that's all insulated with rock wool. So you can see the sink. Sink is gone. The blue box is gone. Tile off the wall completely. Exposed all the PEX lines. That gray thing you see in the back there, that's the fridge. As I'm looking at this, apparently I didn't feel the need to fill that in with plywood. You'd never see it anyway. But so everything's exposed here. The water heater is down. I've got the connection kind of taped off here. There's your hot water outlet and cold water inlet to the water heater. So it's just about bare bones right now, considering where we started today. So yeah, so Rebecca and I need to talk a little bit. We need to figure out kind of the best position for things in here. And when we say nothing is really off the table, I mean, we're even talking, there might be an outside shower here at the bus. You know, there's 15 different ways we can configure this thing. So we just kind of got to figure out the best way to do it. And, you know, that works best for the space provided. But there is quite a bit of space back here. So we should be able to obviously make something work and still allow cool air to come from the mini split behind me. So that's where we're at. Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys hanging out. And next time we're down here on the bus knocking things around, we'll bring you guys along. We'll see you then.